Coming up, SAG-AFTRA approves deal to end historic months-long strike.
And updates on election results in several states across the nation.
And we'll sit down with the Emerson Uncommon Stage to talk about their successful first season and plans for the future.
All that and much more this morning, Thursday, November 9th on Good Morning Emerson.
Good morning, Emerson. I'm Drew Mitchell.
And I'm Katie Delaney.
Katie, a bit of a celebrity sighting around campus this morning.
Have a little someone special in town, and that is Vice President Kamala Harris.
Amazing. Yeah, she is around the Emerson area, and I think it's so cool. Not the ideal day to be in Boston, a little wet, a little cold out, but she's bringing all the enthusiasm, I guess.
Hopefully she'll have a good time.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
If you're out and about, you may have a run with the Vice President, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, well, with more on what the Vice President is doing here, our WEBN correspondent Megan O'Brien is reporting to us live in the JPC. How are you today, Megan?
I'm doing well, thanks guys. Welcome to this WEBN News Update. I'm Megan O'Brien here with today's top stories. Emerson students, you may see a lot of traffic near the EDC today. Vice President Kamala Harris is visiting the city, and Secret Service has been spotted in the area. The Vice President's trip to Boston will highlight work-based training programs. She plans to hold discussions with members of registered apprenticeship programs, and Harris is scheduled to attend a campaign reception on Monday afternoon. The White House is yet to release the location of the event. In national breaking news, the longest-running Hollywood strike in history officially ended early this morning. Thousands of employees from SAG-AFTRA union members can return to their jobs. The 118-day strike came to a close after SAG-AFTRA leaders approved a tentative deal with major studios. The $1 billion deal aims to boost minimum pay for union members and seeks to increase residual payments for shows on streaming platforms as well. The deal will also establish tighter rules on the use of AI technology. Israel-Hamas war has officially entered its second month, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu recently spoke on his plans to oversee security in Gaza post-war. If enacted, his plan on bordering full reoccupation of Gaza, many countries, including the United States, have warned against this move. As of now, Israeli forces have encircled Gaza. They divided the city in half following a night of heavy airstrikes. Federal prosecutors busted high-end brothel networks in Massachusetts and Virginia yesterday. 3 suspects have been taken into custody. The brothels operated out of old apartment complexes in the greater Boston and Virginia area. They allegedly serve hundreds of clients, including elected officials, military officers, and doctors. Suspect James Hahn, Jun Ma-Young Lee are being currently held on prostitution charges. A court date for the suspects has not yet been set. Election Day was this Tuesday, and Ohio residents voted to approve a constitutional amendment Tuesday night, ensuring access to abortion and reproductive health care. With this vote, Ohio will be prevented from restricting access to abortion prior to fetal viability. Voter turnout in Ohio this year was especially high, considering this is an off year for election. This vote is another sign that the topic of abortion access will be a key issue in the upcoming 2024 presidential election. That's all for today's WEBN News Update. Hey guys, what do you think about the voter turnout in Tuesday's election?
Oh, I mean, amazing. Yeah, like it's good to see people practicing their democratic right to vote, and I think it's just important. We have a lot of elections. I mean, next year's presidential election.
Totally.
So important.
My town didn't have any elections, but I love to vote, love to make my voice heard. How about you, Megan?
Yeah, Massachusetts had a busy election. There was 4 new council members and a bunch of new mayors across the greater Boston area, so it was a big day for us.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Megan. Now, with more on election updates and other political news from this week, we'll hear from our politics correspondent, Meg Richards. Meg?
Thanks, Katie. It's a blue wave in Virginia. Democrats held on to their slim majority in the state Senate and gained a hold of the House of Delegates. This will prevent Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin from passing his 15-week abortion ban. Virginians also voted no to the big casino project in the south side of Richmond. The project would have required Richmond residents to lose a total of $82 million in gambling in order to make revenue. And over in a neighboring state, Democratic incumbent Governor Andy Beshear wins re-election in Kentucky, a rare win for progressives in a deeply red state. Beshear defeated opponent Daniel Cameron, the state's attorney general, and close ally to Senate Minority Leader of Kentucky, Mitch McConnell. The Republican nominee called Beshear to offer his congratulations, saying, "We all want the same thing for the state's future generations." Republicans still maintain control of both state legislatures. And Trump still on trial. Donald Trump testified in a New York State civil court case on Tuesday. The former president is in the fight for his real estate empire. The case could result in him unable to do business in the state. New York Attorney General Letitia James called Trump's actions on the stand a distraction, claiming he inflated the true assets of him and his family. His daughter Ivanka Trump also took the stand yesterday, the final defense in the Attorney General's case. Ivanka Trump's phrase of the day was, quote, "I don't recall," end quote, something she repeated continuously throughout the trial. And that is all I have for politics and election updates. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks so much, Meg. Calling all ice cream enthusiasts, get ready to embark on a tasteful journey through the world of frozen treats as the Museum of Ice Cream is coming to Boston. The two-story location in the Seaport District is set to open its doors in 2024. It promises a whimsical and immersive experience dedicated to the world of ice cream. From disco bananas to ice cream-themed socks, the museum promises a sweet escape like no other. Visitors can look forward to 14 unique interactive installations inspired by the city's rich architecture and culture. Among the planned exhibits is a Fenway Park-themed carnival to pay tribute to Boston's beloved baseball team. It will sure to have everyone screaming for ice cream.
And an Emerson event you can catch tonight. Emerson Urban Dance Theater is having their last two shows tonight at 6 and 8. This semester's show is titled REM, themed around sleep, dreams, and nightmares. The show features 16 different dances, 5 contemporary, 5 hip-hop, 4 tap, and 2 full company numbers. The show is in the Semmel Theater in Tufte, and there are still tickets available for the 6 p.m. show. They cost $5 for Emerson students. And if you go to the show, you'll see some familiar faces from Good Morning Emerson.
Yeah, Katie, a lot of amazing things go on campus. A big dancing weekend. Yeah, just what an amazing time.
Yeah, and if you go to UDT, you'll be able to catch our girls Meg and Fifi. We have Meg doing some tap dancing, Fifi doing hip hop, and Fifi also choreographed a dance. So go support our Good Morning Emerson folks doing different and new kind of fun things.
Yeah, and it's so amazing that so many different Emerson students are able to do different productions and just get their feet dabbled in different other aspects of the community. So that's awesome. We're going to head to a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back.
All right, come back in 10 seconds. Ready, camera 1. Camera 1, you wide shot of the entire thing, and in 3, 2, 1, take. Tell cue.
Welcome back to Emerson College. Emerson
Camera
trails
4, get a shot of the players coming across the court.
10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point. As
Camera 2, close upon the person
finishes
shooting.
their timeout. Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away and score this big one.
Camera 1, gonna close and follow them over.
Emerson trails WPI 10 points. 10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point as the team finishes their timeout.
Camera 1, close upon number 33.
Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away.
Follow the ball, follow the ball.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
And Drew, we got a lot going on in the football world. A lot of updates and a lot of scandals going on as well.
Yeah, well,
Season
personally,
continues.
Katie, yeah, my Jets 4-4 right now. You know, defense not doing too hot. Offense, I mean, yeah, I don't even know. Zach Wilson stinks, but that's all I have to say.
But even so, doing better than the Pats.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's too bad for me. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Now, with more news and updates on sports from this week, our sports correspondent Noah Berkowitz has the latest. Noah?
Thanks, Katie. Injured New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers recently hinted he could return to the field. This follows even more speculation on the former Super Bowl champion's return after the Jets' 27-6 loss against the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday night. Rodgers was caught telling Chargers safety Derwin James that he wants to play in a few weeks. His return would be unprecedented, with most Achilles tears sidelining players for entire seasons, and the quarterback being 39. Rodgers said that the Jets would have to be playoff contenders for him to return this year. They currently have a record of 4-4 and play the Raiders this Sunday. And more developments in the Michigan sign-stealing scandal. The Wolverines are reportedly prepared to bring the Big Ten Conference to court if they're punished before a full investigation into allegations of sign stealing is completed. Both Michigan and the Big Ten confirmed that the school was notified of potential disciplinary action. The conference has given the school until this week to respond to the presented allegations and evidence. The scandal has overshadowed a dominant campaign for Michigan so far this season, as the Ann Arbor side ranks second in the nation and sit at an undefeated record of 9-0. They face their toughest battle of the season so far on Saturday, taking on 9th-ranked Penn State. And more football news. The Los Angeles Rams are signing veteran quarterback Carson Wentz. The signing signals a potential lack of optimism from the Rams on the immediate outlook of starting QB Matthew Stafford and his thumb injury. The move also provides the Rams with a formidable backup in the event that Stafford goes down again later in the year. The Rams are on a 3-game losing streak and are looking for a catalyst to get their squad back to winning ways. Wentz joins his 4th team after starting 7 games for the Washington Commanders last season. In 2021, Wentz started all 17 games for the Indianapolis Colts, and prior was the starter in Philly for 5 years. That's all we have for sports today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Noah. With all the box office buzz around Sofia Coppola's Priscilla, we're going to hear what our trending taste correspondent, Sadie Swayze, has to say about the film. Sadie?
Roughly a year after the biographical drama Elvis was released, audiences are getting Priscilla, written and directed by Sofia Coppola. Based on Priscilla Presley's book, Elvis and Me, the film follows teenage Priscilla as she meets Elvis Presley at a party in Germany. In private, the rock and roll star becomes someone entirely unexpected as told through Priscilla's perspective. What I'm most interested to see is how both biographicals capture the story of each historical icon, one focusing on the king of rock and roll's journey to success, and the other following his wife and their life behind the fame. Another aspect that I'm interested in is the difference between the aesthetic decisions between Baz Luhrmann for Elvis and Sofia Coppola for Priscilla. Now, let's go see the movie. The first thing that comes to mind after watching Priscilla is the pacing. The pacing was somewhat slow and melodic. The tone, rather mundane. I'm not sure if Coppola was attempting to capture the feeling of being a 50s to 60s housewife, and especially the wife of Elvis Presley, a man who was often not home and had quite the temper. Another thing that comes to mind is the controversial portrayal of Elvis. Elvis is often portrayed as the king of rock and roll, a loving father, loving husband, but Priscilla tells a different story. All this to say, if you want the Hollywood, fantastical, fast-paced version of what people think happened with Elvis, you should stick to Baz Luhrmann. If you want an authentic, but perhaps somewhat tame version of what happened between Priscilla and Elvis, then you should watch Priscilla. I would give this movie 3.5 sideburns out of 5. For Good Morning Emerson, I'm Sadie Swayze.
Wow, well, thanks so much, Sadie. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. And Drew, our girl is back in the news.
Yes, and for those who don't know, our girl is Taylor Swift. Yeah, Katie, we had one episode without her mentioned, and she's already back.
Yes, which was last time. I mean, the people, they keep wanting to know about Taylor Swift, and we keep them updated.
Yeah, one could say we are Taylor Swift reporters, but I think that kind of leads into our next story. So with more on that and other entertainment updates, correspondent Ella Schaefer has the latest. What's up, Ella?
Thanks, Drew. This year's Country Music Awards aired last night, highlighting several country music artists. The show, held at Nashville's Bridgestone Arena, was hosted by country star Luke Bryan and former NFL star Peyton Manning. It featured performances from acts such as Chris Stapleton, Morgan Wallen, and Jelly Roll. The event also paid tribute to late singer-songwriter Jimmy Buffett, who passed away in September. If you missed the live event last night, the CMA Awards are available to stream now on Hulu. More awards. Actor Patrick Dempsey is People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive this year. Tuesday's episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live is where Dempsey's Sexiest Man Alive title was revealed. The Grey's Anatomy star, who had his face hidden and voice changed, answered audience-asked questions in an effort to have his identity discovered. Besides the cover of People magazine, you can also catch Dempsey acting as race car driver Piero Taruffi in the upcoming Ferrari biopic, which comes out this December. And newspaper chain Gannett just hired a new reporter to cover nothing but Taylor Swift. Brian West, a 35-year-old journalist from Arizona, will write about all things Swift for more than 200 daily papers owned by Gannett. Not only will West be working out of the Tennessean's newsroom for USA Today, but he'll also be following Swift and her fans to red carpets, award shows, and concerts. That's all I have in entertainment news today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks so much, Ella. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll be sitting with Emerson's Uncommon Stage's Gina Jameson. We're talking about the success of the first season and what's next for the Uncommon Stage. Don't go anywhere.
Jeez, that's real super. Had a nitwit like you get so tasteful.
I can't believe Lance prefers Brad's commercial to mine. Let's see NBS's commercial.
Having writer's block? Try NBS.
Alright, everyone, put those scripts away. We're going up with scene convention canceled in 5.
And action.
It was you all along! No. I didn't kill the boy.
Cut.
Struggling with delivery? Try NBS.
It was you all along! It wasn't me. I...
Cut. Everybody hold. Lighting. What's going on?
Need to learn a new crew position? Try NBS.
It was you all along! It wasn't me, okay? I didn't kill the boy. I promise.
Look at the subtle promotions. Tasteful cuts. Oh my gosh. It even fades to black.
Are you okay there, Zach?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cut!
The way I patted the stage, I really felt like Pat was
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. We're sitting with Gina Jameson, an associate producer for Emerson's Uncommon Stage. How are you doing this morning, Gina?
I'm good. Thank you guys so much for having me here today. It's an honor to be here to talk about the work Emerson's been doing with the City of Boston and Trillium at Uncommon.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here. All right. So the season has just wrapped up for the Uncommon Stage. So what are some of the highlights of this year, your first year?
You know, it's really hard to distill like a couple anecdotal highlights. I think when we zoom out, we are so proud of the success of activating this corner of the Common, which has never been activated like this before. This is the first, you know, beer license that the Common has ever had. And as you know, the Common is very old. We've had over 300 hours, I think, of live performance programming. Over 250 local artists have played on the stage. We've had over 600 hours of WERS playing on the site. And we've brought in so many community curators who are movers and shakers in the Boston cultural scene to help us program the stage so that we can really honor our commitment to diverse programming and bringing in diverse audiences.
What a great opportunity for local artists.
Yeah.
I didn't know there were that many. That's really impressive.
So many, so many. I mean, it's not, you know, 250 individuals, you know, there's, you know, a band of like trios and solo. And I think the most we had on stage was maybe 6 people. I want to say it's a small stage, but it's mighty. It's
that's true. And I've had the chance to go, and I know those performers are top tier. So can you tell us a little bit more about the partnerships, I know with Trillium, and kind of how that came to be?
Yeah, so there are a bunch of partnerships involved with this initiative, and this was the first year. I've been saying that we've been building the plane as we've been flying it, and we're very happy that we have completed the journey with this much success. So our first big partner is the City of Boston. They're the major stakeholder here who has been aligned with Emerson's desire to activate this side of the Common. And the support that we have got from the city, from the mayor's office, from the Parks Department has just been incredible. Major shout out to Peggy Ings here at Emerson, who does all those government relations. She is amazing. If you see her on campus, say hi to her, thank her for all the amazing work that she's done. So that's our major partner, right, the city. And then Trillium came in. We needed a vendor who could get up and running super duper fast. And who better than Trillium? They already have these beer gardens outside, so it's a very replicable system. Trillium is also aligned in that they're really committed to having performances at their sites too. I don't think they do it at the Greenway, but they do it at their brewery in Canton. So they were really excited to experiment with this, and they actually released a beer during the season that gave a little nod to the music industry as well. So it was a nice alignment. And I was really impressed with the boots on the ground communication of their staff with our Uncommon Stage Emerson team as well. And then we had these community curators, right? We had Departure Arts, which is an amazing arts organization. We had BAMS Fest, which is huge in Boston. We had Terry Lynn Carrington from the Berkeley Institute of Jazz and Gender Justice as a curator. We had Jazz Urbane Cafe. We had so many people come in to help us create really inventive programming that we just couldn't have done on our own. So all of those relationships were so important to the success of the stage.
That's awesome, so much collaboration.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's so many moving parts and behind the scenes that you don't even realize, but it all came together so well, and I think that just made the community all the more excited for it.
And one of the things I want to know is, in terms of like the collaboration and anything, how can students at Emerson get involved in the Uncommon Stage, obviously like with the next upcoming season?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's one of the big priorities on the Uncommon Stage team side and overall the Emerson side is finding different ways students can be more involved with the initiative. You know, I like to think of it as an overall engagement initiative. This year we had students who worked on the technical crew on the site. Our production supervisor, Julie Below, was a recent graduate. I think she graduated last year of Emerson, and she is absolutely brilliant. The program that they have here for technical production is just, as you know, amazing. And we were so lucky to work with Julie in that capacity. We've had a student work on the administration side of the programming. So we're looking to bring in more opportunities there, probably with an eye towards marketing, towards general support. And then we're also looking for opportunities for students to engage with the site directly, somehow as maybe a performer, maybe as a programmer. So we're looking at different ways that we can engage different segments of the Emerson community, which is also so diverse. One thing that what I think would really help all of us is knowing what Emerson students would like to see on the stage too. Yeah. That's the #1 most important way Emerson students can be involved is tell us what you want to see. You're the neighbors, you're right there. Let us know what you want to come down for.
Yeah,
That's awesome. For me, it's anything and everything.
Yeah.
I love live music. I love to
know any performance I'm there for, especially with just like a beer in hand. It's such a great vibe. Like I don't think there's much more you can ask for. But, so what strategies have you guys kind of implemented to make a very inclusive and welcoming environment?
Right, that's a great question. So the first thing we did right is these community curators. Each of the community curators has different demographics and audience segments that they are focused on bringing into their fold in Boston. So by asking people to say, hey, can you come in and help us program this? You know, we don't know what we don't know. So can you come in and help us program, this is hip hop. So BAMS Fest, can you come in and program some hip hop? Can Departure Arts, you come in and program some world music? A Jazz Urbane Cafe, can we do traditional jazz music? And reaching out and trusting those community partners and trusting their commitment to diversity helps us maintain that commitment to diversity. So that was #1, really important. #2 is listening to feedback from patrons, from the neighborhood, from the city, from the artists, from the community. Implementing suggestions and changes so that we can be responsive to what Bostonians want to see there and how they want to engage with this space.
Amazing, yeah, and Boston is such a diverse, the Emerson community is diverse, Boston just in general, so I think just hearing from all those different perspectives, it's gonna make a better space than it already is, yeah.
And so just to wrap things up, so obviously you've had a very successful first season. What can we expect for next season? Do you have any plans, anything in store that you can share with us?
Absolutely. So like we talked about, more student engagement, finding ways for Emerson students to get more involved. That's really important to us. Strengthening and growing those community curator relationships. Now that we've established a precedent for how we can work with people in that capacity, we can bring on different partners, different movers and shakers in the community to come on and be community curators in that sense. And I think to question, what does engagement look like? Right now we focused on music, but what else could it be? Could it be a larger scale community engagement? Could it be a class? Could it be a different type of performance? Could it be something that we haven't even thought of yet? This is such a rich corner. It's really an intersection, not only just of those streets, right, but it's an intersection of people moving throughout Boston. Yeah. The Emerson and the subway station is right there, and you've got this nice past and present being on the common but surrounded by modern buildings. Yes. It's a really, really rich, fertile site to bring in big ideas of what it means to celebrate something uncommon in Boston. So I think we're looking for ways to activate that in imaginative and robust ways.
Yeah.
What a great closer. Said. Yeah, I love that. Was amazing. Definitely incredible. Well, can't wait for next season.
Yeah, thank you.
Counting down the days.
Yes, thank you so much for being here, Gina.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
That's all we have for you this morning. Once again, I'm Drew Mitchell.
And I'm Katie Delaney. Thanks for waking up with us. Get into this. And now we